to another recorded reading. I have decided to do a reading for the collective energy as we are moving into the solar eclipse on July 2nd. Right now we are in times of very slow progress and very slow movement, with the sun being in Cancer, Venus, I think Venus is in Pisces right now. Venus and Mars are like very close to each other, so it's very much about divine masculine, divine feminine energy, which also tops the spread here. So right now we're in an energy of like we want to finish things, we want to accomplish things, we want to move forward, but it's just like Spirit is saying it's not that time yet, it's not that time yet. And I know that many are getting sick of the word waiting and patience. I myself declare the word patience to be my least favorite word of the years 2018 and 2019. So I am with you on that. I pre-shuffled the cards and laid a spread out because it just takes too long to do it all while recording. I also looked up some stuff because I'm not always very familiar with those. It's a deck that I haven't used that much yet. This is a general reading. Take what resonates and leave the rest. Look at the cards. If what you see in them or what they make you feel or know is different from what I'm saying, then take yours. Take your intuition and just leave it like that, okay? Feel free to share it in the comments if you have anything else that you would like to add. If I start speaking about divine masculine and divine feminine, I'm not necessarily speaking about physical manifestations of those energies, but of those energies within every single one of us. All right, I already laid out the main spread. I want to see if there is a chakra stone that wants to come out, and it is this one. And I'm pretty sure that this is the sacral chakra. So the sacral chakra, I can confirm that actually, because mine is super hyperactive. I just realized that I can see it in this card even, and in this one. So if you feel your sacral chakra being super hyperactive, which can be annoying, there are several ways to balance it or to release the energy from it. As we all know, one of them is very physical, but in my experience, doing creative stuff and expressing myself helps a lot more. The sacral chakra is sexuality, but it also is creativity and artistic expression. So expressing yourself in artistic ways can totally benefit the energy of your sacral chakra. Anyway, with the spread laying here, there is definitely, with the eclipse, a coming out of darkness. Some of you might have huge epiphanies on the way to that, not necessarily on the exact date of the eclipse, but also right now. For me, it feels as if we're in a pre-shadow phase of that eclipse, and I'm still wondering if that eclipse event, with everything that has come through so far, does in fact represent a global 3-day of darkness event. Definitely, it's safe to say that there is big stuff happening. The energy crowning this spread is union energy. It's closeness, it's intimacy, it's reconciliation. It's a coming together of heart and soul, a you know, and it's like those two are coming out of the darkness too, right? The King of Fire here for me, as you know, I read intuitively and not necessarily with the meanings, but I looked them up anyway. So here in this spread, the King of Fire to me is the sun. That is, right now she's burning like crazy. Like over here, it is insane. When I walk outside in the sun, it doesn't even feel good. So this to me is that enlightenment coming in, bringing us back into light. You see that the spreads here are all rather dark. And right now we are in that energy of, you know, more resting, being still, meditating, taking care of the self. Remember when I say union, this first and foremost means union of your own energies, right? So there is definitely a lot of balance happening, a lot of realization about where we hurt ourselves and forgiving ourselves for doing that, especially those who have been dealing or are dealing with twin souls or karmic soulmates. Know that realizing that throughout all the process, the hurts that have happened and the pain that has occurred has not occurred because of what the other person did, but because of what we wanted the other person to do. I know that's a weird way to say, but it just came out that way. But you know how it works, right? It's like those people are mirroring you, so... Yeah, and there he is, the King of Swords, being very much in the headspace. I see this as the divine masculine energy not being present in the physical, and not even energetically, but more like in the mind. I feel that right now many, especially divine feminines, are going over what has happened in their minds over and over and over again. I'm not sure if this is, you know, usually the cup is being seen as an offer coming in that we have to turn to. I'm not sure if that's it in this case, because it doesn't feel like an offer. It more feels like going over it one after one. Not all at once, but one after one. Okay, so it's not as usual that all this shit comes up at one time, totally blowing us away, but it's more like, okay, here's the next one, and here's one, and here's one, and here's one. And with each one we gain more clarity, also hurt a little bit, but it definitely brings us more back into a place where we can forgive ourselves and love ourselves. Okay, there are many cards for this one. So here I have the Page of Swords, the Ten of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. And especially the Ten of Swords, the Seven of Pentacles, and the Four of Swords. Those are cards that I have been seeing everywhere. Like, if you follow my spreads, those are in almost every reading. So the eclipse definitely brings in an energy of an end of cycles, the end of hurt, the end of, you know, not knowing how to handle our mind or our new mindsets. And hopefully also an end of that waiting energy, because man, as I said, it's like, not only I said that yesterday in the Divine Feminine spread, it's like universe is throwing like treats. We get one treat, so we keep walking, then the treat is gone, then we wait, then we get another treat. So it's like we're being presented small gifts or small manifestations, but yet still we feel that there's more to come. I feel that one flipped. Okay, no. Okay, no. It did not. Oh yeah, ooh, Jesus. Funny, because I was looking at that one while shuffling. Yeah, there's definitely a level up in action when it comes to taking action. Because this lack mentality that we're in now, or most of us are, we know we have to get out of that, but we cannot do it with the Page of Wands still standing. So the Page of Wands is moving into the Knight of Wands, getting onto his horse and get going. Okay, there's a lot of fire in here, which does not surprise me at all. Also, the Page of Wands is a card that has been appearing very much lately, so I'm glad to see actually the Knight of Wands as a step forward where there has been some stagnation lately. Yeah. Two of Wands, the Queen of Wands in reverse. Funny. One more, thank you. And the Knight of Wands. So that's what I was saying earlier. The queens, as they are right now, the divine feminines, right? They're more like, I want to move and I know where to go. All right, I'm ready. So what are we waiting for? What are we waiting for? What's going on? And during that time, it's, you know, it's an opportunity to just sit and, oh, see you there, sit and take a look at what's going on. And that's, you know, that's what the 3 days of darkness are about. 3 days of darkness speak about 3 doves, by the way. They speak about darkness coming, total chaos, not letting anyone in, so shutting yourself off and just sit and meditate and connect to the divine, right? So why is the word, thank you. Okay, this is a weird one. So I feel that this is talking about, we're on the right path, definitely. We're on the right path to closing that cycle, but we are not quite there yet. We know that, right? And it's because of that imbalance that is still happening in between the energies, right? Like the Queen of Cups, that clinging on to emotions, clinging on to what we desire, or clinging on to what makes us feel good, is actually blocking us from moving forward in our head, you know, with truth and clarity. Also, I feel like that Queen of Cups, our emotions are currently like trying to dial down our minds a little bit, and that's something I also saw yesterday in the Divine Feminine spread. That we're very much balancing in between acting and reacting, or feeling and acting, or feeling and thinking. And it's like walking on eggshells right now. So I think that this represents our emotions or our intuition. Just trying to put a break on that. I don't need to clarify that one because that one's clear. I did pull 2 cards from the Work Your Light Oracle also. Here we have the Initiation, Rite of Passage and Crossing the Threshold, and Unbound, Releasing Soul Patterns, Contracts, and Past Lives. And at the bottom of the deck we have Trust the Niggle. So I see many being very anxious right now. I tend to give the advice to shift your perspective on your emotions. So for example, anxiety basically is the same as being excited. Like when you, before you go on a date, the feeling that you have is exactly the same that you have when you're anxious. It's just the label that our minds put on that, rather than really having a reason for being scared. So I did pull cards from my Shaman Oracle. Very unusual deck, but I really like it. And here we have Tobacco and the Big Mammoth. Mammoth? How do you say that? I don't even know. This is a 10 also, so also a cycle completing. Notice also how in both cards we have like duality and mirroring. That's also the case with the card underneath the deck. This is the big, that's the big ball game of the gods. So these cards are basically saying that we are moving into a time of big changes. We are being called to know how our soul works, to stay tuned into our intuition, our spirituality, know all the effects that our mind has on our body, and nourish them both. And this is exactly the energy that I was talking about with the 3 days of darkness, right? That you are being called, that no matter what's happening, how dark it gets, right? And what happens outside, oh, that's awesome, look at that. And what happens outside, just stay tuned into yourself, call onto the divine, call onto your divine spiritual power. Stay locked into that, because what is happening right now, we're moving into an age of light. Okay? Just say yes. Doesn't stop. We're moving into an age of light that will not only have an effect on us now, but for all generations to follow. The mammoths are our ancestors, but we are ancestors too, right? Especially if we understand the concept of time, all times happening at once. Our ancestors are calling us to go through this no matter what happens, to make the changes that we need now, not only for us, but for all generations to come. Whew, I love that. And finally, my Rumi Oracle, we have the Cosmic Heart and Sacred Convergence. Look at the 11. I've been seeing 8 and 11 all day today. I don't even want to say it's weird, because it's not. As always with the Rumi cards, I'll give you the most important messages that I see in here. Oh yeah, okay. I'm gonna read the poem for you. I was dead, I became alive. I was tears, I became laughter. The power of love arrived and made me everlasting power. I have seen everything. I have no fear. I have the heart of a lion. Look at that. The heart of a lion. Oh, I love it when the cards are so in sync with each other. It's just so amazing. And I shine like Venus. Sorry, I almost did not say the last sentence. My phone kept shutting down because my storage was full. So I tried 2 times to record the messages from the Rumi cards before I realized. And now, you know, But the Rumi cards basically sum up the message of the spread. They're telling you that we're being prepared for something much bigger than we have ever been imagining, that we should totally 100% let go of fear, of everything that makes us vibrate lower, which also refers to beliefs, right? And which also refers to the fact that this is not a thing that's only about you or only about you and a romantic partner, but this is a global thing. This is about the earth shifting into new consciousness, okay? And you really have to be aware of that. This is right now, if things don't work out, they don't work out because you have to see something more. Please do not focus on your closest surroundings, but turn inside, because inside of you have the whole fucking universe, and you will see what I'm talking about. You will see what this truly is about and how good it feels and where we're gonna go. So even if there is physical events occurring that will seem scary, I see a lot of them basically, and they're also mentioned in the messages of the Rumi cards. Do not fear, okay? Do not fear. Do not fear. I cannot stretch it off enough. Do not fear. No matter what happens, do not fear. Stay tuned into a vibration of love, okay? Stay in forgiveness. Stay balanced. And stay in love, because what's gonna happen is gonna bring us so much more than we have ever experienced, and then we have ever thought that we could be capable of. Okay, thank you so much for tuning in. Again, feel free to comment. I would be happy if you would leave a like, a thumbs up, if you would share and subscribe, whatever you feel drawn to. It's your choice. Have a good day. Love you all. Bye bye.